Hello world. Recently, YouTube is once again doing something I really don't understand at all. Of course, this episode of Hello World is about something that's been heavily requested, the new policies on monetization tools that you now have to achieve to become part of the YouTube's partner program. So, back when I first started making YouTube videos, and even when I first started getting views, which if you didn't know were very different times. One happened around 2008 when I actually started publishing videos on YouTube, and then when I started getting views in around 2013 and 2014. There's a big gap there where nothing happened. But as long as I'd been publishing videos, basically you could become part of the YouTube partner program at any time you wanted. If you just thought you were getting enough views and that you wanted to put ads on your videos and get paid for it, you could do that. It was definitely a fraction when I first started, as is everyone's. Not that much money at all, but recently, in the past couple of years, they've actually added some new changes. So for one, after the adpocalypse, they altered the monetization tools so that you needed to have at least 1,000 subscribers to be enabled for monetization, and on top of that, you needed 10,000 channel views. Now that's the way it's been for a long time. So most of the Tailosif network has actually been qualifiable for monetization, with the one exception of Tailosif Productions and Food, because they have not yet reached 1,000, which we're totally fine with, by the way. We weren't trying to. They're mostly joke channels, but if they happen to make money, that would be great too. But since they hadn't got to 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 channel views yet, they have not been monetized. But now YouTube's pushing the limit a little bit further. So now, with the new policies, you need 4,000 hours of watch time within the past 12 months. Now this actually starts to extend to other smaller YouTube channels as well, ones that we run, such as Tailosif Gaming and the main channel where you see Saturday shorts. Now because we've been so busy with other projects and Tailosif Tech and Talks have priority, we haven't been doing many gaming streams or gaming content. We haven't done many Saturday shorts or continued with Project Photon. All things we want to get to, but at this moment just can't because we're so busy with other things. And now I get the email notification that these two channels are not going to be capable of monetizing any sort of content. It definitely starts to get a little bit discouraging. But full disclosure, by the way, Tailosif Tech is fine. It does not fall under this realm of watch time. And Tailosif Talks even is fine, which kind of surprised me. I didn't realize that we had enough viewers on Tailosif Talks for it to qualify for the 4,000 hour watch time limit. We're actually fine, so Tailosif Talks will be able to be monetizable. But what it means for the Tailosif network, at least, is that we have to try very hard on the other channels now if we want to get anything out of them, especially the main channel, because even when that thing was fully operational and we were making Saturday shorts on a weekly basis, the longest video you would get for a short is usually 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5 occasionally. So the idea of getting 4,000 hours of watch time, pretty far out there. Now this is particularly hurtful for a lot of creators out there, perhaps like animators, who spend hours and hours on content that is not that long. Because I think what the Tailosif Talks channel and the Tailosif Tech channel have on their side is, of course, strength in numbers, as well as the live streams and the podcasts on there, because it means that lots of people are watching very long content. The Tech channel getting, you know, an hour live stream twice a week, and the Tailosif Talk channel with its podcasts. Enough people are watching this channel, as you are right now, that there's a lot of watch time hours. We just produce that kind of content. But there are a lot of creators out there who do not publish content with that many hours of watch time, and I could easily start to see that affect them. Now, I've seen a lot of YouTubers actually comment on this new policy change, and a lot of them are trying to be more fair with YouTube, bringing up the fact that, you know, if you're not getting 4,000 hours of watch time every 12 months, it means that you're probably not making that much off of YouTube. Now, this, of course, is very true. If you were behind that 4,000 hours of watch time every 12 months, you're making around maybe $50 a month, or perhaps 100, depending on how your viewers engage with the ads that are on your videos. So no, this new rule does not affect major YouTubers or even slightly smaller channels. I still kind of consider Tailosif Tech a pretty small channel in the grand scheme of things with all the channels my subscribers also watch, like everything Apple Pro. You know, we're not even the 100,000 subscriber range, and it doesn't affect me. So that's why this policy change is very easy to brush under the rug and be like, doesn't affect me, so don't need to worry about it. The reason these changes upset me, though, as a creator, is because I know there's a lot of people watching my videos who are just getting started on YouTube. I'm still talking to a lot of creators who are asking for advice and asking for what they should do when they start their network or YouTube channel, whatever it may be. A lot of my friends even are trying to get their channels off the ground, and I think it's just simply very discouraging to have YouTube constantly, it seems like every 6 months or so, changing the monetization rules so that it's harder than it was before. I agree with certain YouTubers like PewDiePie that you should not be searching for money, because if you're under that 4,000 hour in 12 months watch time thing, you're not generating much. But again, I remember the first time I started to pick up views and the first time I started to see dollar signs come up in the ad revenue section of my dashboard. Discord. That was a very encouraging time because while it may have not been much, and on Talos of Tech when we first started getting views, just to see it start going $5 this month, $10 this month, $15 this month, that was a very encouraging experience. Starting to see that, hey, I'm doing something and it's working, this could turn into a job. And I thought that amount of hope, that amount of success really kept me going a lot of the time. Not because I was making a ton of money, but just because for the longest time I'd been making videos and that ad revenue thing had always listed zero. I was accustomed to maybe making 50 cents a month. To finally see that turn into real dollars showed me that I was onto something. I'm not a smaller creator anymore. I'm not a part-time YouTuber anymore, but I can definitely imagine being one because to me, that part of my life was not that long ago. I can very easily remember those times where I was like, man, is there ever going to be a time when this can actually be a job? Am I shooting in the dark? Is this ever going to work out? And of course, eventually it did, but I could definitely see these new policy changes discouraging a lot of smaller channels out there and being like, well, great, now that goal I wanted to achieve is that much further away. And to the smaller channels watching this, I don't want this to discourage you, and I definitely don't think that you should just give up or quit. Some YouTubers out there were actually just saying, give up. There's no point. The website is simply not sustainable enough anymore. It's stupid to try to become a YouTuber now. I don't agree with that. I still think it's very possible, and this is just another hurdle to get over. But my complaint with YouTube is I think that this is definitely an unnecessary hurdle, as in this didn't need to happen. So with some of YouTube's reasoning and other YouTubers' reasoning, they're bringing up that a lot of channels will simply download your content and republish it as their own, and a lot of content gets stolen that way. And that's the reason they're implementing these new laws, is so that you can protect your own content and channels that are re-uploading your own videos don't make money off of your views. Now, I can start to see the logic in that, but at the same time, first of all, I didn't see a resolution with the Logan Paul crisis, and I think the fact that YouTube basically did nothing about that, and now this is their first reaction to monetization policies, seems very bizarre that a Logan Paul kind of YouTuber, a YouTube preferred creator, which I also didn't know about, and I think that's total bullcrap. The idea that there's an elite class of YouTubers that YouTube wants to make more money than everyone else, that seems unfair. I don't think it should work that way. Does this terrible thing, and YouTube doesn't even take the video down, it makes it untrending. They basically do nothing on the matter. They don't punish him, they just remove him from YouTube preferred. But again, I don't think that should be a thing anyway. And then the first call to action that YouTube makes about monetization is to punish smaller channels. Really? Like, I don't even care if this punishment is unrelated to the Logan Paul situation. It's just very poor timing. If you were planning on doing this for a while, you should have waited until the Logan Paul situation was at least dealt with. And as of right now, there's been no long-term punishment for his channel, other than the fact that he's not on YouTube Preferred anymore. But as I mentioned in my earlier episodes of Hello World, the reason YouTube has a responsibility to take massive action on Logan Paul's channel, not just removing him from YouTube Preferred, is because we want to prevent these types of events from happening again. It would royally suck if we had another wave of YouTubers that are growing up believing that even though it's controversial and even though they'll get in trouble, if they film a dead body or a crime scene or a murder or something, they can get views for that. At this point, YouTube has not demonetized all of Logan Paul's channels or taken it down, which means that while Logan Paul may have gotten a lot of bad press, there's been no long-term consequence. Because all the YouTubers who are likely to replicate what Logan Paul did are not a part of YouTube Preferred, so removing Logan Paul from that doesn't show any consequences if other YouTubers want to do it. So aside from that, the fact that YouTube didn't do anything and that this is the first monetization change we've seen in a long time, I think it's just either incredibly bad timing or incredibly stupid arrogance on the YouTube team for thinking that, well, we're worried about advertisers pulling out because of this Logan Paul crisis, therefore let's now act on people who repost other people's videos. Now, as someone who has had my content downloaded and stolen and re-uploaded, I can say that whoever was downloading my videos and reposting them, they weren't making that much, if any at all. I used to get contacted all the time by my fans saying, hey, this person's republishing your content, I thought you should know, which I appreciate the fans, if you're out there, the ones who let me know about it. I flagged their channel, I reported it to YouTube and said, hey, this person is stealing my content and reposting it. YouTube said they would get back to me in a couple weeks, and then when they eventually did, they said, we don't see what's wrong with this guy's channel, he's not doing anything wrong. So YouTube literally did nothing on this matter. So when I'm hearing about YouTubers defend YouTube and say that the 4,000 hours thing is really just to prevent people from reposting your own content, and it's trying to protect that type of thing, my answer is, why let them exist at all? Why are you just trying to take off advertising rights from that? Because that doesn't actually fix the situation. It means that they're not getting paid, no, but if they're republishing my content, viewers, people on YouTube can still watch that video, and now they can watch it without ads. If anything, you've just incentivized those channels to keep reposting my content, because now viewers can go to that channel and watch my videos without ads, opposed to going to my channel and watching them with ads, which would support me as a creator. So that's why this whole decision to add the 4,000 hours thing makes no sense to me. For one, I think that 90% of the people that this affects are upcoming YouTubers, people who are trying to get a start, and when they start to see that ad revenue come in, it becomes very, very helpful. It becomes very, very inspiring. Perhaps if you're a gaming channel or a live streaming channel, once you have monetization enabled, Super Chat now becomes an option. And if you didn't realize it, Super Chats can be of any amount. It does not have to limit you to that small amount of ad revenue that Google AdSense gives you if you're under 4,000 hours. Because Talos of Gaming is mostly live streams, this kind of sucks for us because we know that even if we live stream 24/7, we wouldn't be able to hit that 4,000 hour mark before February 20th, which is when these changes go into effect. The reason we wanted monetization enabled on Talos of Gaming was so that people could super chat any amount they wanted. As in, if someone were to super chat per se $100 or $500, very rare, but again possible, then that channel would have brought that money in. But now, because of these new policy changes, super chat is probably not going to be an option because that falls under monetization tools. So now that opportunity for us to engage with our fans and say, hey, if you want to super chat us for a game or a console you want us to buy for this channel, now that is no longer there. Now we have to tell them to go through PayPal, or we'll start streaming on Twitch or something like that. So again, the new policies are discouraging to the 90% of YouTubers who are just trying to get started out. No, I don't think this is going to kill their channels because they weren't living off of that income. However, it is very, very saddening for them to see that they have to get into the 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 subscriber range before they can make any kind of income on YouTube. Before, they could have got that money a lot sooner if this 4,000 hour policy was not implemented. And for two, the reason they're implementing it doesn't really fix the problem. The problem being other channels are re-uploading your own content. Now they can't make money off of it, but that's not to say that other people can't still go and watch that. Now they can watch my content without ads. So that doesn't fix the problem. It just means that reposters aren't getting paid very much. And on top of that, I would just like to add that yes, people repost your videos all the time and get more views for it. And I think that's messed up. But if YouTube has artificial intelligence and bots that still demonetize my videos on a daily basis, why can't those bots detect that this video is publishing minutes and minutes of content from a different actual YouTube partner's channel, and that shouldn't be allowed? Especially if me, the creator, flags it and says, hey, this channel is reposting my stuff. If that happens, it should be able to catch that. It's ridiculous that I reported the channel that was reposting Talos of Tech videos, and YouTube said, we don't know what's wrong, everything's fine. You don't want to actually solve the problem. You're using this as an excuse to make it harder for creators to come up. I don't understand the logic behind this. I don't know if it's just them trying to prevent future YouTubers from happening because they feel like YouTube's getting so diverse with controversial and non-politically correct channels or channels that diss on their brand, that they're just trying to stop the next coming generation of YouTubers, or they're just that stupid. I hate to go that route because that feels very mean-spirited, and it feels very rude of me to just say that whoever's working at Team YouTube right now is devoid of all logic and has no idea what they're doing. I hate to say that, but it's honestly what it feels like right now. I can't understand the logic. So once again, I'll repeat, if you're an upcoming YouTuber out there and you're just starting to get views and you're just starting to get people to watch, don't let this discourage you. You can still conquer this. This doesn't prohibit you from making money. It just means you have to work a bit harder, which sucks and it shouldn't happen. But like I always say to starting YouTubers, don't wait for the stars to align. Don't wait for the right amount of money on YouTube to be coming in. Don't wait for a certain amount of tech. Don't be like, I can't make videos because I don't have this camera or this computer. Don't wait on that. The only way you can get better at making YouTube videos is to keep making them. You're going to make crap, and over time it's going to get better. And luckily, that's the great thing about the YouTube platform, is that the cream rises. If you really make good stuff, in a certain amount of time, it will be noticed, it will be spotted, and hopefully it will continue to grow. It takes a very, very long time to get there, but only the diligent are the ones who make it. So thank you for your time. I hope that made sense to you as to why I'm very upset about these changes and why they don't make sense to me. I think they're total bullcrap, and once again, I wish someone else was in charge of YouTube. Philip DeFranco seems like a very fair guy who listens to both points of view, and everything he says seems to just make logical sense. I feel like a YouTuber should be in charge of YouTube so they know what it's like. That's who I would elect for CEO of YouTube. So any thoughts on this matter or points I didn't realize, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have an excellent day. Take care.